What's going on? Straight out of
Hi,
Compin. What's happening, friends? Hope you're all
what's up?
well today. What's up, Em? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jamil?
I'm good. I'm worried about my little puppy, though. He seems to be my Frenchie's got something going on with
Ethan?
him. Yeah, but I'm good otherwise. Happy to be here.
Yes, me
Welcome
too.
to Straight Outta Compin. We're going to comp your houses, guys. This is the place. If you're not sure how much you should offer for a house, we can help you with that. If you're not sure what a house is worth, we can help you with that. What you do is put your addresses in the chat and we will comp them for you. If you're an Astros flipping student, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're not, you're just a subscriber to my YouTube page, welcome. Emily, would you bring up the appraisal rules, please?
Yes, I got you.
So what we do, guys, is we look at how appraisers are going to value a house, and why they're important to us is because your buyers, when they sell their property, they're going to be selling to a retail client who is going to need to get a loan, and that loan will be subject to an appraisal. So these appraisal rules will apply. You can only compare properties that are in the same subdivision, and you'll know that you've left your subdivision once you cross a major road. So if you don't cross a major road, you haven't left the subdivision. That's all gravy. You can comp houses that are within plus or minus 200 square feet of each other in size. So if you have a 1,000 square foot house, you can look at a house that's 800 square feet all the way to 1,200 square feet. And, you know, maybe and change, right? Maybe even do like 250 square feet. That still probably be okay. Not advisable, but like if you have something closer, use that. And you can only compare houses that are the same property type. So ranches with ranchers, 2 stories to 2 stories, historic houses and such. You get what I'm saying. Don't cross any major roads and you're okay. Try to stay within the same build generation. So, you know, plus or minus 5 to 10 years. Or if it was like the early 1900s, you can go into like 1870 and, 1920, because they were still, getting around life with horse and buggy back then. So it was the same build generation, and then you have to make adjustments if there's differences between your comp and your subject. So if you have an extra bath or missing a bedroom, you can make the subtractions, plus or minus 10K for a bedroom and a bathroom and a pool. Garages are also 10, and carports are worth 5,000. And also adjust for traffic. If you are fronting or siding or backing traffic, you have to make adjustments. And they're different. If the value of your property is 350K or less, or if you have a luxury property worth over 500K, you got to take 10 to 20% off for traffic. And basements and guest houses are only given 50% of value per dollar per square foot. So you'll see those rules in action today on this. Let's comp some houses.
Wonderful. We had a lot of you beautiful people waiting for us today. That is so nice.
Fun.
I will throw up the link to the comping tool that Jamil will be using for you guys, just in case you are curious about that.
Yes. All right. Get me an address.
All righty. Our first address of the day will be 3605 West Latham Street, Latham, and that's in Phoenix, Arizona.
3605 West Latham Street, Phoenix, Arizona. My neck of the woods, your neck of the woods. On the market, active at 139, and they say that batch has a value estimate on it of 135. It's a 1946 build, 1380 square footer, 3-bed, 1-bath. It's been listed since January of 2021. Looks like a total hole. Look, oh, I've seen this house. Oh my gosh. The Town Bike. They've been trying to wholesale this deal forever. This is a lot, guys. This is land value minus demo. But anyways, what is it worth? We got a 290 here for a 48 build. I mean, I like that. What's our size? If we were to keep the pad even, 1380. That's 1119, 1199. Yeah, I mean, so 290 is a ARV on this thing. So, you know, I think you need to be probably at about 100 grand on it.
Awesome. Ready for the next?
Yes, yes.
Okay. 5016 East Bernil Drive, Paradise Valley. BERNINEIL.
Back in our neck of the woods again. Ooh, look at this PV house. 5016 East Bernil Drive, Paradise Valley. Batch's value estimate on it is 1.366 million, built in 78. It's 2571 square footer. Let's see the size of the lot. I know this area. It is going to be land value. They knock these suckers down and they build amazing $4 million houses. But what is around here? What are they building around here? So here's a 2 million. This is an 82 build. This is probably just a gorgeous, yeah, really nice remodeled house. So that's on the market at 1.7, no bites. Here's a full remodel, sold for about 1.50. Now I can say that they do knock these out, and they want to be buying these things at around 750. So I think that's the buy number on this. Look at that. Somebody paid 1.35 million for it. What are they going to do with that? They just sold it.
Wow.
Wow. Wow is right. Wow is right. I'm going to take that over to Zillow and check it over here. Maybe we'll have some different sales. Can you give me that address again? 5016 East Bernil, right?
Yes.
Active at 1.625 now. Jeez. This is definitely a teardown. I don't necessarily see how. Maybe they could do a nice addition to it. That could be a possibility, but it's such an ugly house. I don't see how that really works. Oh, yeah, see, it's a lot. The lot has been cleared. It's raw land, and they're selling it for 1.625. Somebody paid 1.3 for it. I think that number is just craziness. Craziness.
Wow. Wow.
But
wow,
look,
wow.
see, there's a $4 million build here, right? So a $4 million build, you have to be buying it about 25%. So I think it's actually worth about $1 million. I think $1 million was the right number. 1.3 seems high, but I don't know. Someone might have a different idea than me on what they plan to build. They might want to put a castle there, and God bless them.
With a moat and everything. Okay. Next one, 4216 North 31st Street in Tampa, Florida.
31st Street?
Yes.
Tampa, Florida. Cool. We got a little cottage, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1896 square footer. in Tampa, Florida. The Zillow estimate on it is 251. Let's see if it gives us some quick comps. It does. Here's our subject. Ooh, what's number 4? Number 4 sold for 255, and it looks a little cottagey, you know, a little like ours. All right, so $143 a square foot, 255 there. Let's see what the map tells us. Pretty much the same thing. Here's a 255. That's right, 255 would be the number. ARV is 255. And you want to be picking that thing up around 60 to 65% of that out in Florida. So 255 times 0.6, 155 to 165, I think, ish could work.
All righty. Our next one is 430 Burnett Avenue South in Renton, Washington.
Burnett spelled how? Okay, I got it. In Renton?
Awesome. Yep.
Okay, this was just sold in June of 2021. It's a 4-bed, 1-bath, 1760 square foot house in Renton, Washington. Looks like it's a 2-story, cool architecture. Quick comps nearby. Here's our subject. We've got some 600s, 640s. It's a tiny little guy. So, I mean, this thing may be worth 700 grand. Let's see if there's any. Here's one. 685. Boom. I don't think it gets any better than that. $700 grand. ARV 700.
We are just going right through these. Jamil is on a roll.
Sometimes it's just handed to you, you know. What do you do?
Okay. 524 Royal Ridge Drive in Davenport, Florida.
Royal Ridge.
2 words.
Got it. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1374 square footer in, I think, Davenport, Florida. You said Davenport? I don't know. The Davin or Davenport, guys? What do you think? The estimate is $236K. The little quick comp. Look at this. Zillow is, I love what they're doing here, giving us this like cheat sheet. Again, we have to check, guys, because I've seen these guys be off by 100 grand on this thing. So don't get lazy and just like use this. But look at how fun this is. Here's our subject house, and look at these cluster of comps they've given us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we got a 13. Oh my God, a model match. A model match at 235. I'm going to say that's probably going to be our winner. And here's another one, number 4. That's a recent sale. That's at 218. We're still higher, 235. Whoa, but here's a 245. So maybe you're hitting 250. Let's see what the map shows us. See a bunch of 225s nearby. Lots of sales at 225. I mean, you know, if you're a buyer out here, you're going to see a lot more evidence at 235, 225 than you are 250. Even though there's sales at 250, I'm gonna say that your buyer is going to feel like, oh, there's one right there. So I think 250 is right. 250. And then I'd be at like 65%, 65%.
Anna asked in the comments, I've seen some people multiply price per square foot from the comp to figure out ARV. What's your advice on using that method?
You can only do that if your subject and your comp are within 200 square feet of each other. So that's the one appraisal rule I talked about earlier. You can do that if your house is, say, 1,500 square feet and your comp is 1,700 square feet, you can adjust it down, or vice versa, the other way around. But if your house is 1,500 square feet, okay, and your comp is 1,000 square feet, you can't take the dollar per square foot of that 1,000 square foot house and multiply it by 1,500 square feet and use that to get your ARV. That doesn't work, because the dollar per square foot for smaller houses is always higher. That's just a rule. So you can't apply it unless your comp and your subject are within plus or minus 200 square feet of each other. So that's how that would work.
Awesome. Next one is 422 Hickory GLN. So I'm assuming they meant Glen, Centerville, Georgia.
Hickory what?
I'm assuming Glen.
Glen?
See if it pops up.
ENN?
Here they just put GLN.
Where?
In Centerville, Georgia. If nothing comes up, we can. Oh, did you get it?
No.
No.
Check that address, please.
Alrighty, next one is 2079 Southport Road in Spartanburg, South Carolina. He said there are 2 houses on 1 lot.
Okay. 3-bed, 1-bath, 2436 square footer in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Interesting. 2 houses on 1 lot. So that's one little shit box, and then you got this other little big shit box next to each other.
The other one is like in the woods.
Yeah, interesting, right? Oh, it's a little. Who
so
lives
many
in
spiders.
Oh, so many spiders. Is that what you think when you see that?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not sure if the square footage here is inclusive of both houses or only one house. That's a question. I don't know if you who put that address in the chat know the answer to that. I'd be super helpful, but I'm going to look around and see if we can find anything like it. The quick comps on it. Here's our subject. There's a little cluster of comps over here. Number 5, 4, and 2. Number 2 sold for 105K. It's a lot smaller. Number 4 sold for 100. Also much smaller. This is so I possibly it's both, but see if there's anything around it that have. Not a ton going on around here.
He said it's for both houses.
You know, there's not a lot nearby that is similar to what you got, because there's, you know, houses that appear to be more like communities, you know, little clusters, whereas our subject is kind of tucked away in like a little zone over here. And it's bigger, so really tough. It's got 2 houses on it with nothing nearby. You know, I think the best you can do is by looking at the highest sale you've got. And what I would do in here is I'd say, okay, look at the highest sale we have in this price point, and then maybe give it an additional 10 to 15% of value just for its extra size. You can't apply $1 per square foot to that because unfortunately it's a guest house. In this situation, because they're on one lot, it's either a duplex or a guest house, right? That's the only way to look at it. And then you look at that second structure and it's small, it's compacted. And so it's not like it's another house just like the big house that we saw. It's a small little like additional dwelling unit. And so you can only give that half value for its square footage according to the appraisal rules, referring back to that. So because we don't know how much that little box is in size, it's impossible to apply $1 per square foot valuation to it. So I'm going to take the highest sale that we have, and that's going to take me back to that first home screen when we saw the quick comps that Zillow gave us. We had pretty decent sale values over here that you don't see a lot of. And here's one great example. You have this property that's sold on what looks like a large swath of land like we have over here. And it was a 4-bed, 2-bath. So it's, you know, a little bit better in bed and bath count than we've got, but it's smaller in square foot. So I would take this value and I would say, okay, what's the trade-off? We're 1,000 square feet larger, but it's in an additional dwelling unit of X size. We are missing a bedroom. We are missing a bathroom. And this sold for $105K. What would the value trade-off be? And I think because we have the extra square footage, but we're missing a bed and bath, I think that's a wash. So I would say this is probably worth at best $105K.
That was a good one.
Tough to do. But I also want to say that a house like this would be more challenging to wholesale because you can see it's not like there's a plethora of activity going on around there. There's like barely any sales. So keeping that in mind, I tend to advise folks that are doing this, you know, get into the more city, into the city where there's more density, right? You'll do better there because there's buyers that are doing a lot of transactions. Out here, what we have, it's all new houses. Look at this. Everything's new, all new stuff, right? So these little boony houses out there, not a lot of people are trading in them. So I would stay closer to the cities.
Awesome.
What's next?
Our next address is 179 Buttonwood, that's one word, Drive in New Jersey.
Buttonwood?
Buttonwood, yep, just how it sounds. And she said,
okay.
She said it's a 4-3.
4-bed, 3-bath. Thank you, whoever gave that to us. 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,127 square foot house in Trenton, New Jersey. The estimate on it is $290K. Ooh, quick comps. We got some good ones here. Looks like a nice remodel of similar size. It's about 200 square feet bigger-ish. And so it's a comp, and it's worth $291. That's good. And you can tell that's probably a modern remodel because it's got that cute little door there. So you know that somebody came in there and did a remodel and chose a funky door. So 291, that's a nice retail comp. What else do we got here? Number 3 looks close enough as well. That's a 310. How big is that? It's around the same size. So that's a possibility. Let's see what the map says. Oh, it's got a big lot too.
Oh, wow.
It's got to have some value for that. Here's a remodel, not my cup of tea remodel, but a remodel. And oh my God, look at how this person staged this. If you're going to fix and flip a house, guys, don't do this. Just put a bed in there with a mattress.
That's so good.
This is someone staging. Look at this.
They had like a little random pool table in that one room too.
And those are heavy to move. Oh, that's a tiny little guy. It's not a real pool table. In the basement, like, oh, look at the man cave with this little prop pool table that we have here for little people. So 242 there. Ugh, it's a tough one. Tough. Oh, where did it take us? Sorry, we lost it.
That's okay. Do you need the address again?
No, I think I can. Yeah, give it to me. Dang it.
179 Buttonwood Drive.
Was in the search history. Here's a good one. That's old. Let's see if we can find any evidence of a 3. I like this. That's too big. Oh no, it's about the same size. So I think that's fair. I think your high comp on this one is going to be about 310 for this size. There's about a 315 here, 315 ARV. So in Trenton, you want to be at about 60% of that. So that's where you want to be buying it. 60% of that 315.
So Rhonda Thomas asked, how do I figure out what to sell my deals to a flipper for? I don't understand how to determine this.
Great question. So I teach this in a way when I'm giving you guys a number, right? I'm giving you the highest possible price that you can pay for this property and still make about $10,000. So I'm assuming that that's about what you're going to add on to your profit. So add 10,000 to the numbers I give you. But that number, if you don't, if you are flipping around from area to area, that number is area specific, right? So for instance, in a place like Phoenix, Arizona, for a cosmetic remodel, you'd be at 70% of ARV. Or if it's a full gut remodel, you'd be at 50% of ARV. But that's going to be different in Tucson. In Tucson, you're going to be at about 60% of that. So in Phoenix, you'd be at 70, and Tucson would be at 60. So that's area specific. So when you give me an address and I give you a percentage, that's going to be specific to the area, and I'm assuming you're going to be adding $10,000 ish to your property for an assignment fee.
Keith asked, are you accounting for repairs for that 60%?
Yes, that's going to be at a cosmetic remodel. So when I say cosmetic, it's like really, it's really livable inside. It's just dated, right? It's like grandma's house. Imagine clean grandma. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, cosmetic remodel, right? When it's full gut, like you've got to go in there and do electrical work, plumbing, roof repair, stuff like that. That's like 20% less than what it would be for cosmetic. So I am adjusting for repairs. I'm just doing it in a way that's faster and easier for us to digest. So rather than going 70% minus repair, minus this, minus that, minus desired wholesale fee, which has been the standard MAO formula that's been taught, I simplify it in a way that allows you to just say, is this cosmetic or is it full gut? And then I take that knowledge and I multiply that by a given percentage of ARV for an area. And that helps you get to a number fast. That way you're not sitting there trying to say, how much would lighting cost? How much would flooring cost? How much would a kitchen cost? Like, God, that's going to take you half a day to comp one house.
All right, I got one more for you. What if the agent says they need me to sign a buyer's agent agreement before they will find me deals?
Say, cool, I'm happy to sign one with you, but it can't be exclusive. It needs to be where it's property specific, because I work with a lot of real estate agents and I can't not do business with them. So unfortunately, I can only do something that's non-exclusive and that's property specific. But I'm happy to under those conditions.
Awesome. Alrighty. Our next address, 10702 Kingfisher Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kingfisher is one word. There we go.
All right, we got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1670 square footer in Charlotte, North Carolina. Cute little house. Oh, it looks remodeled-ish. That's remodeled, guys. So I'm gonna assume these guys are gonna want ARV for it, right? Look at that. Oh, not a beautiful remodel by any means. It's missing baseboard. There's, you know, but somebody spent money in this. This estimate on it is 320 grand. Let's see what the quick comps show us. Here's our subject. They're down here. It's a little farther than I'd like, but number one sold a month ago, about the same square footage for 325. So that lends to the 320s estimate. We have another little smaller, sold for 295. So it looks like 325 is the highest that we got there. Let's check this. And it looks like we're getting the same thing over here. 315. 320. Sounds about right. So in North Carolina, you want to be at about 60% of ARV. So be at like 190 on that house.
Awesome. Alrighty, our next one, 8012 Vernon Drive in Fort Washington, MD.
Got it. 8012 Vernon Drive, Fort Washington, Maryland. Doesn't tell us how many bedrooms it is, but it's a 1-bath, 1344 square footer. The estimate on it is 254. What's our quick comps? Ooh, somewhat nearby. We got a 230, a 280. This kind of looks similar. It's got, you know, wooded area near it. Looks like a large lot. Number's at number 2. Oh, that's a little far away. What's number 3? 305. All right, let's see what the map tells us.
Sorry, she said 3-bedroom, 1-bath. if that helps you.
Mm-hmm. Look at that, right near it. 390. You got a 390 here. Looks like it's the highest that we got. Who was 425? That's too big. 390. Yep, 390.
Awesome. Alrighty. 2500 Judson Ave. That's spelled Judson in East Point, Georgia.
Here we go. Guys, if you haven't already, do us a favor and smash that like button for us so that so that YouTube knows that you guys love us and it helps the algorithm and all that. So more people can learn about comping, because it's important. If you are doing this as a business and you are not running your comps correctly, you will be locking things up too high. If you lock up things too high, you are going to disappoint your sellers when you're unable to sell those deals. And that isn't fun. You need to go in with the knowledge and the understanding of how much you can pay for something and still make about 10,000 bucks. So here we got a 2-bed, 1-bath, 877 square footer in East Point, Georgia. There's estimate on it is 140K. Small little guy. Ooh, it's got a lot of close comps right nearby. And they're all, here's a 2-1, much like it, 800 square footer sold for 130. You got 1,000 square footer sold for 140, another 140. You know that's a remodel. It's got that funky little door. Where's number 3? Right by it. Oh, that's far. So I'd exclude that. But we got a 155. Wow. And that's a remodel right there. So let's see if the map tells us the same thing. That's a new, that's 215 there. Still, 250 is probably as good as it looks right now. $1,400 square feet. What's our size again? Oh, we're half of that. Half of that. 877. I think that's it. 150.
That's it.
On we go.
Okay, 1844 North Druid Hill Road in Atlanta, Georgia. DRUID.
One more time.
1844 North Druid Hill Road.
All right. 1844 North Druid Hill Road in Atlanta. We got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1684 square footer. The Zestimate on it is 431. Looks like a perfect example of a dated house. Look at that. Zestimate on it is 431. So this is a nice little part of Atlanta. You got some quick comps nearby, and they are very nearby. You got a 430, you got a 415, 390, 425. So let's see if we can find anything nearby that's above 4.25. There's our big piece of land. These are a different type. These are like a newer build in a little cul-de-sac subdivision, you can see. So you can't use any of these sales. You can tell this is a new build. And here you go, 97. And ours would be is built when? Not. But you can see the total difference in construction. This is a 51. You could never compare that house to this house, right? So looks like our numbers are going to stay right in that range, about $400, $425. That's where we'll be. So you want to be at about 55, 60% of that in your offer.
Coolio. Next one I got for you is 148 Fox Road. I don't even know how to say this. SCHUYLKILL, Haven, Pennsylvania.
Schuylkill Haven? What is that?
I
Fox
have no
Road,
idea.
Schuylkill. Man, that's a mouthful.
I
All right,
stopped.
we don't know how many square feet it is.
Terry, let us know.
I'm going to try it on batch. Hold on.
Okay.
Pending at 236. Been available since June. It said it was available on Zillow, right? Yeah, 155. Under contract. $1,728 square feet. So that's a little. You can see these the topography changes pretty drastically between these two sales. You know, you've got a flat lot here. It's like an open prairie almost, and then you're over here and you're on this like jungle hillside. I think that, you know, you can't use those as comparisons. So I'm going to try to take this over to Zillow and see what we can see on the satellite map of nearby sales.
Terry said, I have it as a short sale.
Yep. Okay.
And then the square footage is 1,700.
1,700 square feet. Okay. You know, there's not a lot of sales that you can see here nearby. I mean, you've got some 30s over here, which, I mean, it looks like just plain land. So somebody just bought dirt. And you got something like this, which is a total, you know, completely different thing, right? You've got a 93 build, like it looks like a cottage, you know, and you know, beautifully done too, right? So this would be the example of what something could look like there, but it would have to be like an estate. This is an estate, big chunk of land. You know, it's on 2.3 acres. They've got a, you know, gazebo here and a pool. This is the life, right? He's got to live in paradise over here. And so you look at this and you look at what we've got. I don't think it's the same thing at all, right? So you've got an open prairie here. You don't have a, you know, big, you know, gorgeous thing. So I think, in all honesty, this might be worth completely remodeled, like 2.25. And so 155 is going to be much too high. In Pennsylvania, you're probably looking at being at somewhere around 55% of ARV. So if that's going to be worth around 225, and you're going to be at 55% of that, I'd say you need to be at about 120. So not too far off from 155, but a little bit away.
Awesome. Our next one.
Yep.
3997 St. John's Avenue, North Charleston, South Carolina.
All right, we got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1920 square footer, 3997 St. John's Avenue in North Charleston, South Carolina. This estimate on it is $303,000. Cute, interesting architecture, little dormers here.
That was my first thought too. Very interesting.
Right? Like, and now look, guys, when we're looking at these quick comps, we want to see, are any of these properties like our property, right? This is on a flat piece. This is a flat piece here, 1,700 square feet. It's 380. Okay, well, our estimate is only 300. So, but is there a different in architecture? Yeah, this is a Tudor. Remember I talked about it earlier. It's got these high pitches. These Tudor style houses always have a higher value than what you have here. That just a brick masonry with a metal type roof and then dormer pitches. I mean, you could turn that into a pretty stinking cool modern farmhouse with a nice remodel, but it would be quite a feat. So you can start seeing here a story of about 350 to 380. Let's see what's around it. All the sales nearby it, pretty low. Here's a 255. It's a nice house. Doesn't look actually very nice. It looks kind of beat up. Sold in 2020 for 255. Oh, I like this one. I think this is a really nice comp for us. This 380. And we're larger. Yep, I think you got about a 380, possibly even 400 house here. So Zestimate's off by about 100 grand. That's why you always got to check it, guys. Zestimate's a good tool. It's a good little gauge, right? Sometimes they're right. But if you only went off of that, and if you only went off of the quick comps that are here, you're going to be stuck around, 310 to 350. This doesn't look like the same kind, and now you're getting into like elevated properties and this 370. But yeah, I mean, when you get in and around it on the map and you see what's near it, then you can see, hey, there's there's a good cool 380 right over here. So that's it, 380 on that one.
Awesome. Next one, 5815 Eisenhower Drive in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, Texas. Head on over to Batch. Good old Texas. One more time, Emily.
5815 Eisenhower Drive in Fort Worth.
$5815 Eisenhower Drive, Fort Worth, Texas. It is a 1999 build, 1,200 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath house. Sits on 9,313 square feet of a lot. Has a garage, 3.2, no pool, single story. What is it worth? Batch's value estimate on it is 182. Not a ton, super close. Not loving that. What's this 202? Man, we're really far away here. I don't like that at all. Too old, but that's a 145. So we're a 99 build. We've got to be north of 145. You know, mind you, this major road here, I mean, there's nothing that they're giving us. And that's the problem with non-disclosure states is you have to use a tool like Batch or PropStream or whatever, and you're only going to get what data is available. We're gone back two years. Let's go back. Oh, God help us. 3 years. Yuck. Come on, this is just dumb. Just become disclosure, Texas. What's the matter with you? It's a 2019 build that's 10 years newer and larger at 207. So that means we got to be south of that. So we don't have a lot of information, but we do know we got to be north of 140, south of 210. It's a newer build too, and that's at 215. So, I mean, the best we got is the average, so like 160. So, you know, that's the best you can do in a circumstance like this when there's just not much information available. You know, let's go up, just up north, right here, see what's sold around there. Yeah, there's a 137 there. That's older, so I think that supports our 160. And that's the highest there is. I think 160 it is. With the limited information you get in a non-disclosure state. That's why it's great to get your license, guys. Go get your license and get access to the MLS so that you can see more information in those areas. But these guys get their information from the MLS too, so it's even sparse there, which sucks.
Oh, wow. All righty, moving on. 4 Sunny Shore Drive, Ormond Beach, Florida.
4 Sunny Shore?
Yeah, 2 words.
Ormond Beach?
Mm-hmm.
Cute. Okay, we got a 2-bed, 1-bath, 784 square footer in Ormond Beach, Florida. Its estimate is 234. See if it's got some quick comps for us. Okay, yeah, these look pretty close. Number 4 and 1. So number 1 was a 2-1, but it's much larger, sold at 230. That's not very supportive of our 234. What do we have that's higher? What's number 4? Lower. It's number 2. Actually, you know, pretty close. And number 2 sold for 255. Another very similar looking style architecture. So that lends to the value could be the same, but it's 200 square feet bigger. So you got to adjust down for that. So that makes sense of how that gets to 234. Let's see what the map shows us. So here's our subject. Looking for something that's around 700 square feet. It's 900, that's a 280. So you could use that. And it's fairly recent. I think this is what you got. So you do 280,000. Divide that by 900. Gives you $311 a foot. Multiply that by our 784. And that takes you to 245,000 bucks. I think that's where you're at.
All righty.
Got one more for us. Wrap it
do.
up. All right, let's get it.
Okay. 28830 Southwest 144th Avenue.
28830.
Southwest 144th Avenue in Homestead, Florida.
Got it.
Oh, wow.
Looks like a mobile home. Maybe. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1721 square footer in Homestead, Florida. It's a 1970s shag shack.
That little bedroom with all that red would make me so anxious. I feel like I'm in a hole.
He's like, welcome to my palace.
Oh my goodness. Glenn said it's a house.
It's a house. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense too. Look at that. It's cute. It's got a foundation and stuff. All right, so cool. Definitely could use a remodel. His estimate on it is $350. Let's see what the quick comps show us. So number 5 is the closest to us. Very similar looking, smaller by 300 square feet. So, but it, I don't love using that, but it was at $250 a square foot. So $250 a square foot times that by 1721, that takes us to $430. Now the smaller houses get a higher dollar per square foot. So that makes sense why that bumps us to $430, and this is sitting at $350 here. But so I don't know that you really use that because it's still about 300 square feet smaller. But I don't know. It's on the borderline no.
Glenn said the house has 2 sides.
2 sides?
Yeah, and then he just sent this. She came down to $260K from $315K. I was there for 2 hours yesterday. But I don't know about the duplex.
He says that she's at what?
260.
1,700 square feet.
It looks like a duplex on the inside, but it's not. It's one house.
See, you got this whole other newer style house that's up at $430. So I don't think you can really justify, any higher than about a 350, 360 ARV. So she's at 260, he says?
Yep.
I think the highest you can really go on it is 230. You're close though. You just gotta keep duking it out. 230, and you can sell that thing about 245. But I wouldn't feel super comfortable with you going up to 240. I think you're gonna run into trouble because I think the ARV on it's 360, and you gotta have at least enough room. So that's where it is.
Oh man.
That was a fun one, guys.
That one was jam-packed of information. That was awesome.
We had someone angry today. And we got an angry emoji today. Woo!
I saw
Fun.
that. I think that was that one address where it was GLN,
Oh. Huh.
but I don't know.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We had a good time tonight. And we will catch you next Sunday. Peace.